Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's Demon Slayer Season 1, Episode 4. Last time we got what is quite possibly one of my favourite training arcs in anime. Not only did we get a substantial amount of time for a regular team to get good at combat, which is like 2 years of straight basics and reflexes, which is just phenomenal to me. Like something you rarely ever see. You don't usually have your main character dedicate that much just to the simple discipline of doing something right. Like, it's usually about learning a secret technique or gaining some sort of Super Saiyan power-up, like, you know, or unlocking a fancy weapon, that kind of thing. You know, it's always something special, something flamboyant, something like super powered, or a new skill they can unlock, that kind of thing. But no, this is just bringing Tanjiro up to competent levels of being able to fend off fast warriors from elsewhere and, you know, demons and everything. You know, he is at least of a level where he can keep up. Like, obviously, there'll be a lot of people that have been doing this way longer than him, and a lot of demons that are way stronger than him, but this is sort of what lets him take his first step into the ring. It's a bit like how the Straw Hat crew aren't the biggest dogs in the New World, but they train their asses off for 2 years to be able to step in the ring without being instantly flattened. Like, that's basically it. Like, the world Tanjiro wants to challenge is so dangerous that he needed 2 years of drilling in all these basics of fighting like a warrior just so that he could at the very least survive a clash with someone. So that was important. I really liked how we got a lot of focus on that. And of course, to get 2 years worth of training in a single episode, and to also feel like not a moment was wasted, and yet it wasn't rushed at all, I think that speaks of incredible pacing. And I don't know if I've ever heard that as one of the main praises about this show before. Most of the things I've heard have been about the characters and the animation quality. But I'd like to just point out how phenomenally paced episode 3 was and how much I really appreciate it. Overall, I can see why this anime got very popular very quickly, even for viewers watching it weekly. I'm basically in the same boat, because I record these episodes once a week, so I'm pretty much the same as the people who are watching this anime for the first time and had to wait a whole week. I always feel like I have enough to satisfy me every time. Like, obviously with a good anime, you're going to be like, well, I want to watch the next episode right now. But at the same time, there's something to be said for an anime that can give you enough content and satisfaction that you can really stew on and appreciate what you just watched, and it lasts you for that week. Like, it means that what you're watching has substance to it, and I really appreciate that. You know, and I think it speaks volumes how excited I am to continue, because that makes me feel like I relate to the people that were following this week to week when it was first airing and getting subtitled and stuff, and they were going through the same emotions, like getting excited for the next episode. And these are only the first few in a full-length season, so I can't wait for when things just hit the fan. That's going to be crazy. But yeah, basically loved the previous episode a lot, and unless we start off with some high octane stuff in this episode, I think it's going to be hard to top for a while, because there was some great pieces in that. As I said, great pacing, great development for Tanjiro, and I hope he keeps the long hair. I'm just saying, like, that looked kind of badass on him. You're interested to find out more about Sabito and Makomo, but who knows when they're going to show up again, so there. all that matters is that he's ready for what I'm assuming is going to be the equivalent of the Hunter exam in Hunter x Hunter. Like, if I'm completely off base on that, let me know, because I haven't actually seen Hunter x Hunter. And before you all get on at me like, oh, you should react to the 2011 anime, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you should react to Hunter x Hunter, let's go. I know enough details about certain things that happen that would make a reaction to that series, and it's a long series, pointless. I like reacting to things that I have a very minimal amount of knowledge on, if I can't have no knowledge at all. So things where I know large chunks of, I tend to stay away from, and just I'm vaguely aware of it. I've never been bothered enough to actually watch it all the way through, but that's because I'm not someone who just sits around and watches stuff like that in my free time. I browse YouTube in my free time and watch other reaction videos. I know that sounds kind of boring, but I love it. It's my thing that I'm focused on, which is why I haven't got bored of making these videos over the years. Like, I just love reaction videos, and in turn I love providing them to you guys, because I know that you guys are the type that like to watch reaction videos. So it's like a self-fulfilling cycle. So there are lots of shows that I haven't seen that are on my plate to react to, but there are also a lot of shows I haven't seen that I know enough about to get the gist of, but I'll still probably never get around to bothering to watch them, and Hunter x Hunter's one of them. But yeah, just I don't know where that tangent came from. I just wanted to say that I'm assuming it might be like a Hunter exam, but because I don't actually know the rules of a Hunter exam, I don't... basically, I'm not trying to make a one-to-one comparison because I don't know anything about the Hunter exam, but I get the general gist that, you know, take a test to become a Demon Slayer, take a test to become a Hunter. I'm just doing that. Okay, that was a long-winded way of saying that, but I just wanted to make a disclaimer that if I'm completely off base, that's probably why, because I don't know details about either of them. I'm just going by overall implied premise. I really hope some of you skipped all of this intro nonsense, but... Okay. Alright, I think I've said all I wanted to say. I'm pretty hyped for this episode, so I wanted to basically talk myself down, basically let it all out, and basically bring my levels down so I can enter this episode pretty chilled out, and then let it do its thing. So, Demon Slayer, let's continue. Oh boy, okay, now already off to a strong start. I guess I half and half saw the ghost reveal coming, so it didn't really hit me that hard. What hit me hard was seeing the brutality of how they died and being confronted with their killer so quickly. Like, gosh, it's no wonder that the master was becoming reluctant to send people to the exam, because the last 13 people before Tanjiro had gotten their asses murdered by this one guy. That's pretty legitimate that he didn't intend to send Tanjiro in there. Like, that's it. I've had enough of talented students just being sent to their deaths. Like, I'm glad Tanjiro was able to avenge them, it looks like. But gosh, seeing them being all sweet with him in the previous episode, it really contrasted with the brutality of seeing her get torn limb from limb like that. Even if it was just an abstract image, your mind fills in the blanks, and it's pretty awful. So yeah, definitely a lot of sympathy points there, and makes it satisfying that Tanjiro is going to avenge everyone. And really cool to see him have that moment of, as soon as he starts breathing, boom, instincts of 2 years drilled into his head. Enemies stand no chance right now. That is good. I really like how you get those sort of things where something's drilled into you so much that it's so second nature that you can just pull it out of you as soon as you concentrate. He's showing a good level of that. It's something I really appreciate, that shows how much of his training was worth it. Like, even he was like a bit giddy to himself, like, holy shit, I'm good now. Like, I'm actually a competent fighter. Like, it worked. My training worked. Like, that's obviously going to be such a rewarding feeling. And like I say, I've caught a glimpse of Zenitsu, or whatever his name is. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right, because I'm getting all sorts of spellings in my head right now. Zetinsu, Zentatinsu, like I'm pretty sure it's Zenitsu, because I have a friend on Discord who's like the protection squad. Zenitsu Protection Squad or whatever. Like, I really wish I'd have bothered to write the name down, because I knew that he was going to show up soon. Zenitsu. I'm 100% sure now it's Zenitsu. Yes, Zenitsu Protection Squad. Okay, so I assume that we might be dealing with him at some point soon, but obviously that's neither here nor there at the moment. Right now, it's like the start of this 7-day survival period, which is definitely not something I was expecting. I expected it to be more like I expected it to be more like the forest part of the Chunin exams in Naruto. Where they'd have some sort of objective to reach. Obviously not with all the coloured scrolls and everything, but just a general, like, sort of mini journey to go on while also dealing with everyone else around them. But obviously we're going for just a general, hey yo, this place is batshit and dangerous, just survive here. Just we're gonna leave you alone for 7 days and you live or die. Try to live. Okay, that's a lot more straightforward. Just trapped in this forest full of dangerous demons. Yeah, okay, makes sense. But he's made a good start. I'm really proud of him. His training's come a long way. And this method of smelling at the perfect path for the blade, like, certainly unique to him, and it really helps him to be as deadly as possible with his blows, and so far it's serving him well. Really cool action sequences. I love all the quick fluid motion. It doesn't feel like there's any wasted movement in the animation. All the colours pop. I'm already seeing the beautiful graphical quality of when all of the blue water starts appearing around his blades, so it makes me excited for the effects that are going to appear around the other characters' attacks and whatever new attacks Tanjiro pulls out in the future. Yeah, the quality of this anime is just really, really damn special. And I'm sure that the quality is only going to ramp up as we go further along, and that's something I'm very excited for. So yeah, this guy, this big demon-like thing, really, really creepy. Not gonna lie, like, he's a bit of a body horror, a bit of an amalgamation. You know, if that floats your boat, it floats your boat. But no, my boat sank all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. That's a big pile of nope. I don't like mutated thingums like that. It's why I can't play Outlast. It's why I can't watch Outlast. Like, use all those lumpy, deformed people charging at you like maniacs. It's like, no, I want to crawl out of my skin. That's uncomfortable. About the only types of that sort of thing I can stand is why I made the reference, the Last of Us games, where it's more just like a fungal infection kind of thing. You know, the cordyceps that infect ant brains and stuff like that. It's based in science, so I sort of dig it. It says, yeah, this guy reminded me a lot of the process of how a bloater comes to be in The Last of Us. And like I said, I'm not going to put a picture example because obviously it's a spoiler, but I did see something similar. So that's what immediately made me think Last of Us. So yeah. But yeah, as for Demon Slayer, it's doing right by me. I'm super invested. Really enjoying this selection so far, and I'm looking forward to the next part, and I shall see you guys next time.